Welcome, welcome, welcome into this space and time. The siren cry of the bagpipes bid us to gather here at Macalester, while flags remind us of the homelands always, the homelands of the diverse and rich cultures that make up the Macalester community. I am Reverend Kelly Stone. I use the pronouns she, her, hers, and I serve as the college chaplain. I believe that rituals build meaning in the human family, and the rituals that gather us today reflect our history and reflect our commitments as a college community. The tartan fabric worn by our bagpipers and the bagpipes themselves remind us of the college's Scottish, Presbyterian, Christian heritage, while the flags of many countries are a visible reminder of the homelands that are present always in this community. These flags are an invitation, one that we hope you will receive to build your own global awareness, knowledge, and concern. As chaplain, I steward the Center for Religious and Spiritual Life located in that uniquely shaped hexagon building, glass building, in the heart of campus. You'll come to know that the chaplains of Macalester stand in diverse religious traditions, and we are a resource for all members of our community. Our work is to sojourn with this community in the authenticity of our shared and individual experiences. It feels important to that end to name that as a human family, we are holding so much these days. The COVID pandemic, which sweeps the globe, has altered how we learn and live, and even how we move about the world and gather. This digital gathering of the first year class and welcome is evidence of that change. And we know that the Macalester community and our extended family is not immune to the impacts of COVID-19. And so as we gather this day, we pause to make space for each of you to hold the impact that has been felt by you and yours personally. This day, we also honor that the centuries-long pandemic of systemic racial violence in the United States, which centered the Twin Cities in national and international consciousness this summer, is ongoing. The unjust and inhumane murder of George Floyd spurred an outcry heard around the globe. Persons who suffer violence must be named. And so this day, I invite you to, holding your own geographic location, speak aloud the names of those who must not be forgotten. As we lean into our own circles of awareness, we see the hurt and heartache of the human family, and we hold this day with the fullness that it deserves. While we are in a moment like no other, it is essential that we remember we are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses. The African-American a cappella ensemble, Sweet Honey and the Rock, remind us with their soulful song, "We are," that we are our grandmother's prayers. We are our grandfather's dreams. We are the breath of the ancestors. Newest members of our community, as you do the critically important work of coming into a deeper sense of yourself, remember that you are held by the prayers and dreams of those who come before you, and you will be sustained by the breath of generations that come before us all, and the whispers from the future of those yet to come. To further center you in this day of welcome, there is one more practice that I want to share with you, and that is the practice of sharing a land acknowledgement. The land on which I stand will become a home for you, newest members of our community. And so we begin many of our college gatherings, acknowledging the land on which we rest. So today, as we gather from the north, the south, the east, and the west, we hold with humility that Macalester was built within the homelands of the Dakota peoples, native to this land. The Sisseton and Wahpeton bands were forcibly exiled from these lands because of pervasive, aggressive, and systemic violence. On this day, I make this acknowledgement to honor the Dakota people, the ancestors, the descendants, and the land itself. As we hold this truth, wherever you are located geographically, I invite you to take a moment to honor, to wonder, and to learn about the people who were indigenous to your homelands. Our sense of place should never erase the place of those who have come before us. And now, wherever you are, whomever you're with, however you come into this time, welcome to Macalester College. May your journey here be true, honest, and real. May you hold the heartbeat of the earth, our common home, in your hands, and may you journey well. Welcome to Macalester.
Hello, students and families. I'm delighted to welcome you to Macalester today. Bienvenidos a todos. Me da muchísima alegría estar con ustedes hoy. Although I'd much rather be greeting you all in person, I am no less excited to be starting this academic year with all of you, our newest members of the Macalester family. Of course, I would have been happy under any circumstances to greet the class of 2024, but it's especially true today because this will be an academic year unlike any other in the history of the world, and it's also my first semester at Mac, so like you, I'm new too. And in that way, I feel like an honorary member of the first year class. Just like all of you, I will experience many firsts this year. First day of the semester, first bagpipe performance, first lunch in Cafe Mac, first Minnesota blizzard. And because we will be doing these things for the first time, we will see old traditions through new eyes, and we will bring our unique experiences and perspectives to them, making the campus our home. This will be an academic year like no other. I want to take a moment to acknowledge how difficult the last 6 months have been. The spring was very disruptive for most of you. Graduation ceremonies were interrupted. The global pandemic created incalculable suffering in many of our communities and has reshaped the college in ways that are still evolving. And our national civil rights crisis, which erupted here in the Twin Cities, has shined a light on insidious systems of inequality that must be dismantled to achieve a more perfect union. It has been hard. Macalester needs you to move forward toward a better tomorrow. And the world needs Macalester, now more than ever. More than 30 years ago, I was a first-year college student. I arrived at my dorm on campus with 3 things: the suitcase I received as a high school graduation gift, a trunk which over the years has served as a nightstand, a coffee table, and a place to store keepsakes, and a black garbage bag into which I had stuffed the sheets and blankets from my bed at home. There was no computer to set up. There was no trip to Bed Bath & Beyond for a new matching set of bedding and linens. I was a financial aid student, a Pell Grant recipient, attending a college whose annual tuition was more than double the salary my mom made as a single parent of 4 children. I felt intimidated and worried that I was not worthy. I secretly suspected that a mistake had been made, and soon others would discover that I didn't really deserve to be there. I didn't know the phrase imposter syndrome back then, but I will tell you that I had a very bad case of it. So I want to say something now to all the first-year students, because no matter your personal circumstances, starting over at a new place can cause all of us to feel a little trepidation about whether we belong and how we will find our way. Here's what I want to tell you. You are a member of the Mac family now. You belong here. All of you. Everyone. Whether you brought your bedding in a garbage bag or had the means to order a new set. Whether or not your family had to borrow money for you to come here. Whether your parents speak English or not. Whether you went to a public or a private high school. Regardless of your background, heritage, class, color, faith tradition, nationality, sexual orientation, gender expression, legal status, or any other attribute, trait, or custom. You are all worthy. You all deserve to be here, and you are fully embraced by this community, 100% and no exceptions. Joining the Mac family, you will find, is a lifelong journey. It's not just about the 4 years you will be a student. Yes, you will take classes and join clubs and compete in sports and perform in shows and take up causes and engage in any number of activities during your time here as a student. But when we say for life, we mean it. We mean that alumni will offer you internships in the summer while you're a student. We mean that after graduation, you'll be welcomed by alumni in your new city or town who are delighted to know you. We mean you'll be invited to attend reunions and regional alumni receptions and asked to come back to campus and sit on panels at events, sharing your wisdom with future students someday. We mean you'll be welcomed warmly to athletic contests Mac students will play in your region. We mean you'll have opportunities to sit on committees and groups who will guide our alumni engagement strategies. Some of you will even become trustees. We mean all of that and more. So soak that in. You have not just selected a college. You have joined a large and diverse family who is with you for life. Now I want to share a little advice, because the next 4 years will present you with lots of choices and more freedom than most of you are accustomed to. The first is say yes to new experiences. New friends, new ideas, new foods, new topics of study, new clubs, new music. This is an opportunity for you to redefine yourself and how you view the world. Treat your time at college like a chance to explore ideas and try things that will broaden your experience. Ask big questions. The big ones are the important ones, the gnarly ones, the ones for which there are not just one right answer. The ones that reveal underlying complexities and that might make people feel uncomfortable. These are questions that start with words like why and how and what if. Ask them. And when you don't like the answers, take action. At Macalester, we want students to live their values. This means working hard to create a more just and peaceful world. Yes, we want you to ask big questions, but that's not enough. It's necessary, but not sufficient. When the answers you get back to big questions reveal injustice or unfairness or violence or harm, assign yourself the job of making change. Action can take many forms: protest, scholarship, invention, fundraising, service, art and creative expression. I could go on and on. One of my role models is Marian Wright Edelman, the founder of the Children's Defense Fund. She said, if you don't like the way the world is, you change it. You have an obligation to change it. You just do it one step at a time. Before I close, I want to say a few words to the parents who are watching this. First, let me congratulate you. You did it. After almost 2 decades of your loving guidance, support, instruction, and sleepless nights, both of the infant feeding and the teenage curfew variety, your bird is about to fly the nest. I have been where you are. I've dropped each of my children off at their respective colleges with a mix of emotions: pride, excitement, trepidation, a little relief, and yes, some sadness. It's natural to feel a little sad. One college president jokingly admonished us not to make any rash decisions about adopting a new pet for 2 weeks after dropping off our youngest. I'm passing that little gem along to you. But I hope it will be of some comfort to you that your student will have a wonderful, life-changing experience here. They will be challenged, supported, encouraged, prodded, celebrated, and loved. Their time at Macalester will be among the most memorable 4 years of their lives. And we thank you for sharing your children with us. They are so incredibly smart, talented, creative, passionate, and fun. It's an absolute privilege and a joy for us to welcome them to the Macalester family. And by extension, we welcome you too. So welcome, all of you, to your first week at Mac. We can't wait to get started.
Hello. Please let me join President Rivera and the rest of the Macalester community in welcoming you, the class of 2024. My name is Corrine Moe, and I'm the Provost and Dean of the Faculty here at Mac. Now, you may very well be wondering what in the world a provost is. In short, I am the Chief Academic Officer, so that means that I am the leader of the faculty. So on behalf of the faculty, I want to warmly welcome you to the Macalester community. Now, the faculty have been looking forward to your arrival, whether it be virtually or in person, and it's been a much busier than usual summer for them. They've been taking seminars and workshops, really working hard to prepare for the fall, and they've learned a great deal about how to teach in remote and hybrid environments. Now, of course, as a community of learners, they've spent this summer exercising the skills that they want to foster in you, those skills of critical thinking and lifelong learning. They're very excited to get to know you and to work with you. I'd also like to welcome the parents and other family members of our new students. Thank you so much for entrusting us with their education. We understand the enormous investment that you are making in them and their futures. I've spent my entire academic career here at Macalester. Prior to becoming the provost, I taught for 20 years in the economics department. I'm a labor economist. I taught classes on gender, U.S. poverty, labor economics, and my research centers on the experience of women in the U.S. labor market. Now, I loved my life as a faculty member, and working with Macalester students has been a source of great joy for me. I'm now beginning my 6th year as Provost and Dean of the Faculty. And I, like my faculty colleagues, love this time of year. The arrival of new students breathes new life into our academic pursuit, and I'm always struck by the promise of these opening weeks. Now, of course, this year has been so strange for all of us, and your arrival is different than the arrival of any other class. You are a special class, and we are especially glad to have you join us amidst all this uncertainty. You've already had a chance to work with your academic advisor, so you've gotten a sense of how dedicated and interested our faculty are in your success. Now, I'm sure that today's been an overwhelming time for all of you. Many years ago, I left my home on Long Island and arrived at a small liberal arts college in the Midwest. I unpacked my bags and said goodbye to my mom. I met my new floor mates, and there was Mom again, so I said goodbye to my mom. I went to some orientation sessions, and then I got a call from my mom. I said goodnight to my mom. In the morning, guess who stopped by? Yep, she'd driven an hour from campus and decided she just had to say goodbye one last time. So I did say goodbye to my mom, and I have to admit, by that time I was really ready for her to go back to New York. Of course, now I have a totally different perspective. I've dropped off my own children at their colleges, and while I can't see you, I am looking out virtually at all of the families watching, and I feel great empathy. That mixture of joy and pride, yet overwhelming sadness at watching them transition from high school students at home to young adults on their own. I totally now get why my mother kept coming back. And then for all of you, of course, all of these emotions are compounded by the stresses of making this transition in a time of global pandemic. Class of 2024, you're extraordinarily bright and talented. You've worked extremely hard and enjoyed great academic success. You've earned impressive grades, scored well on standardized tests, you've engaged in tons of extracurricular activities. It wasn't easy to get here. The 551 of you, as well as the 21 transfers, rose to the top of 6,000 applications. You all earn the right to be here, and you all belong. Now, I know over the next few days and weeks, some of you may come to doubt that. You may begin to feel a bit homesick, or that your classmates all come from more interesting places or from better high schools, or for whatever reason, know more about succeeding in college than you do. If those feelings start to creep in, I hope that you'll remember what I am saying here to you today. I stand here to tell you that every single one of you, every single one, belongs to our Macalester community and has the ability to be successful here. We would not have admitted you otherwise. Now, research shows that many college first-year students worry that they don't have the wherewithal to succeed in college. You might feel you're alone in that worry. You are not alone in those thoughts. I want you to know that your new classmates, even those who seem like they totally have their act together, are also worried. It's completely normal. Connecting with your faculty and reaching out to make friends is a tested way to overcome and move past those feelings of worry. And you have the resiliency to move past those concerns and thrive. For lest I didn't already make it clear, you are all qualified to succeed and thrive here at Macalester. Now, parents, you may hear from your student about these kinds of fears and worries. Don't be surprised if your here to now totally confident, super confident student worries about a class or has a friend concern or is homesick. Know that parents are hearing the same things from their kids. Your child may be worried or anxious, but they're not alone, and neither are you. I encourage you to encourage them to make connections. I also encourage you to resist the urge to fix what ails them. It will be so tempting, and I speak here from direct experience. We've nurtured and guided them, and it may very well be the case that you know just how to address and solve their problem. Resist that temptation to be the fixer. As they adjust and make connections, you can expect to see the texting traffic decline, which, while in the end is a bit sad, is a good thing in the long run. Now, students, you are also about to be challenged in ways that you can't have imagined. Of course, you imagine you'll be challenged academically, but you will also be challenged about your beliefs and views, your political views, your religious beliefs, your taste in music. All of these will be challenged. You will enjoy greater freedom and personal choice than you likely have ever experienced before. And you're going to need to have to decide for yourself how you're going to spend your time and what kind of person you intend to be. Open your mind to the perspectives of others. Now, it may be the easiest course to seek out people here who are most like you. Making friends with people who share your interests or come from your part of the country or world is a natural inclination. I challenge you to stretch beyond that and engage with people who might view the world from a different perspective. Remember, you are here to learn, and that means you can't already know all the right answers. Now, as the Chief Academic Officer, it's my job to remind you that in the face of all the choices you'll be making, you need to keep the academic projects centered in your mind. Your primary task for these next 4 amazing years is to learn. It's a remarkable gift you have ahead of you. 4 whole years where you can fully immerse yourself in the luxury of learning and living the life of the mind. Take full advantage. Now, at Macalester, we are a community of learners, right? So we believe that education is fundamentally transformative, and that together, as faculty, staff, and students, we collaborate in that personal, social, and intellectual transformation. That transformation, we believe, occurs in its best forms when we engage fully across the liberal arts. So we're going to require you to delve in depth in your major. We're going to require you to take a handful of general education, language, and divisional courses. But we're also going to expect you to move out of your comfort zone when it comes to choosing electives. Sample broadly from the array of courses available to you. I challenge you to do this each semester. You will find that your best memories of Macalester will be academic. You will look back fondly on a close relationship with a faculty member, a group of classmates that you studied with into the wee hours of the morning, a particularly challenging class, or an amazing summer research experience. I wish you well as you begin to build these memories. Welcome to Macalester.
Hi all, welcome. My name is Fatih Kadir. I use she, her, hers. I'm a rising senior at Macalester College and your student body president. I'm excited to have the unique privilege of speaking with you today as a representative of the Macalester College student government. I first want to reiterate my welcome. All of you have such unique and diverse backgrounds that have led you to Macalester, and I know I'm not the only one when I say we're so excited to have you join and uplift our community. To give you a bit of context for myself, I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota, though originally a refugee from East Africa. This balance of local and international has sometimes become conflicting in the ways that I feel like I was able to showcase my identities at times. But I slowly understood that it was a unique and vital strength that allowed me to think of any given topic from a plethora of perspectives. The ability to consistently showcase this and be surrounded by a range of others with varying identities is what initially drew me to Macalester. In addition, I'm an international studies major with a focus in political science. The strength of these majors, departments, professors, and alumni were and are awing. With mentors like Professor Samatar, whose work in Somali studies is academically deep and inspiring, leading him to place second in the Somali national election in 2017, and Professor James von Geldern, who spent the limited free time that he has to represent international clients in asylum cases, I knew I'd always be in amazing hands. With my Macalester education, I've had the ability to use my skills at a range of places. To get a deep dive into finance by interning with Goldman Sachs in their investment management division, as well as be able to be on the other side of immigration policy with my now entering 3-year internship with the University of Minnesota's Legal Clinic for Refugees and Detainees. Lastly, I am a human being that holds traits beyond being a student. As a first-generation college student, I'm thankful for the opportunities that Macalester and college has given me, but I know that being a student is not the beginning nor the end. I'm a sister to 3 loud but brilliant younger brothers, a daughter, a friend, a community member to the Macalester Groveland community, as well as Cedar Riverside community. I wanted to take a second to be transparent in who I am and what I value to showcase to you that the possibilities here are endless. Macalester wasn't a place with no obstacles for me, nor will it be for you. But with strong and deep connections, support, and personal adaptability, who you end up becoming and what you end up impacting can be worlds away from what you think currently. Speaking of obstacles and adaptability, let's talk 2020. 2020 has been a year of great impact. With the pandemic of COVID and racism being at the forefront, it's exacerbated already existing issues of injustices and inequality nationally. I cannot imagine how this year uniquely and deeply impacted all of you. It's definitely not reflected what I envisioned my senior year to look like, and I'm strongly guessing it's not what you expected from your first year of college as well. But there are a couple things that I want you to take as you embark on this new journey. Firstly, please understand and use me as a support in any way. I know I've only been able to pass my obstacles and learn to grow due to the endless support I've received from a range of friends, fellow students, professors, staff, and more. As your Macalester College Student Government President, I want to make sure that I'm able to represent and support you as deeply as possible. Please also know that I'm not the only one that's in your corner this year. You will have your advisors, your OLs, your professors, classmates, parents, and most importantly, each other to lean on during this difficult and challenging time. Please use them. Secondly, and relating, make connections everywhere. You have no idea where your next best friend or mentor could be. I know that the virtual and COVID environment can sound limiting in regards to this, but can leave so much room for innovation and for connections that probably would not have occurred otherwise. Be open and embrace these connections because they will be the primary way for you to experience an impactful and amazing year. Third, issues are inevitable. Name them. Don't shy away from discussing topics because you feel uncomfortable, whether it's at the individual or community level. We never want you to feel unsafe, but a slight feeling of discomfort is where you grow as a person. Lean in during these moments and use it to grow beyond your imaginations. Last, I want to take a second to talk about the topic of race and racism. With the death of George Floyd occurring about 12 minutes to the location of Macalester, as well as the national and international impact that it had, I'm guessing that the events that led to his death are vital conversations and issues that meant to many of you. As I mentioned previously, 2020 did not necessarily showcase any new issues, but rather exacerbated and spotlighted already existent ones. As your president, I want to blankly and simply state Black Lives Matter, and I will do everything in my power to reflect this in my responsibilities year-round. Whether you're a Black student or ally, I hope that you find safety and well-being at Macalester to feel able to consistently talk about these issues in and outside of the classroom. These are great and deeply ingrained issues that we cannot stop fighting even as we approach the end of the summer. As we remember and heal from the death of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, Tony McDade, among so many, too many others, I hope we can find Macalester to be the community we call home, to support each other and unite against the fight regarding racism and anti-Blackness. I have radical hope for us in regards to this semester and year. With that, I want to offer my warmest welcome. I am thankful and proud to have you as a part of Macalester and excited to connect soon. I'm already in awe of your impact.
Al comenzar nuestra trayectoria en Macalester, que podamos nutrirnos de los años de amistad y aprendizaje y que podamos recurrir a ellos para crear un mundo más justo y pacífico, un mundo lleno de compañerismo y lazos duraderos, con respeto y amabilidad el uno por el otro y con la esperanza de un mañana mejor. Amén.
Naj leta prijateljstev in učenja negujejo našo pot na Macalisterju. Naj nam bodo vir moči pri ustvarjanju bolj pravičnega in mirnega sveta. Sveta polnega dobrote in tovarištva, naklonjenosti in spoštovanja, ter upanja za boljšo prihodnost.
annagoo isla bilaabayna safarkeena cusub ee jaamacadda Macalester, eebbe ha nagu manaysto sanado badan oo saaxiibtinimo iyo aqoon kororsi ah. Allah subxaanahu wa tacaala waxaan ka codsanaynaa inuu naga dhigo kuwo fursadooda uga faa'iidaysta inay ku abuuraan duni nabad iyo cadaalad leh, duni ay ku dhan tahay walaaltinimo iyo wadajir, taasoo lagu kabay xushmad iyo inaan isku naxariisano. Waxaan rajaynaynaa maalmo qurux badan.
As we begin our journey at Macalester, may we be nourished by our years of friendship and learning, and may we draw upon them to create a more just and peaceful world, a world filled with fellowship and kinship, with respect and kindness for one another, and with the hope for a better tomorrow. Amen.